Hello, welcome to the first episode of Newysports TV, the very first episode of Newysports TV. I'm Ty Stedman, your host today, and Happy New Year to you all watching today, or this afternoon, whenever this is uploaded. This may not be uploaded till later tonight. It is Friday at the moment, and we are 8 days away from the official start of the New FM pre-season next week at West Wallsend, between West Wallsend and Khyber FC. So far, not many games set in stone just yet. Bell Swans have released their schedule. West Wallsend, of course. Wallsend have got a few games. A rumoured game between Cooks Hill and Fort next Sunday, which Newysports will cover if that's the case. But yes, West Wallsend, Khyber next Saturday. First game at 10 AM. It promises to be a good day. It's been a long off season, and Newysports, I'm excited to cover the new season with Newysports, and let's get straight into it. Our key players so far, no real team list out just yet. Cooks Hill have unveiled their entire squad. The same thing can be said with Lakes having 2 of their 4 squads available. A few Toronto squads have been announced. But yeah, there's not too much news on the squad front today. It's just what you've heard, what you've read on the Newysports site. It is there, the squad page. That will be updated momentarily when we get the squad list through. Key players, I think, under 17s. I did actually get to watch Cooks Hill train in the 17s and 19s a few weeks ago. For those who don't know, I do play for Cooks Hill, so I was just dropping in to see who was training from the all-age side of things, and yeah, the New FM guys were training, so I decided to sit around and watch a bit, and it's a very, I'm not going to say inexperienced, I'm going to say inexperienced at this level in the New FM league. There's a lot of new players in the under-17 squad at Cooks Hill, and whether the grand final is an option this year, if it's a goal, I think it is. I think they can do it, but it's going to be a real make or break sort of team. I think it's really unpredictable how it's going to go for Cooks Hill's youngest squad in the New FM league. I'll tell you, one of the players I saw, Gilbert Harabakanzi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He's I think he's only 15, but he looked like a very technically skilled player. That was just the first couple run-around sessions they were having. It wasn't really anything serious, but definitely looked like a player to watch. Probably going to play on the wing, to be honest, from what I saw there, and those sort of pacey wingers, they're very hard to defend against. He could really be one to watch at Cooks Hill, and of course Lake Macquarie City have unveiled their entire 17s team, which I think this squad is going to really, they're going to bring something to the competition. They're going to bring a real challenge. They're going to be hard to beat, just like last year. It's not the same squad, it's the youngest squad, and this squad at Lake Macquarie, they've been together for a few years now. They've just come back from Borneo. They were fortunate enough to go over there and play in the Borneo Cup, and this is a team that know each other. They know each other's style, and I think it'll show on the field, whereas a few of the other clubs might not have had so much experience together in the New FM division. In the 19s, Bell Swans, I've got them written down here, and I'm not quite sure on the ages of last year's Bell Swans squad, but if these guys are going to be playing mostly in the 19s again this year, they're going to be very hard to beat. Matt Ellis, James Youngberry, the captain, a couple of others. A very good squad that made the semi-finals in the 19s last year. Unfortunate to go down to Lakes, I thought. Really, they lost that game. They lost the semi-final in the first leg. I think they were 3-1 down or something like that. Very hard to come back from, but Bell Swans one to watch in the 19s. Khyber, another one. Their 17s team from last year, the semi-finalists, the premiers, a very good team, and I've been fortunate enough to have been invited out to Khyber and play the six-a-side competition out there with Andre and his team, and playing against some of the 17s, 19s, 23s. It's a very strong club, Khyber, and I'd expect to see them up there in most grades next year. Finally, last thing in the 19s, Cooks Hill, their squad's been announced. A lot of last year's squad's still there. Giles Boyd, the coach, a squad that made the semi-finals and just sort of fell apart in the first leg of the semi-finals, just like the Swans. They were never able to come back in the second leg, but there's some good players to watch. Emerson Gosling in goals is untested in the new FM League, but definitely one to watch. Seb Lewis, one of their midfielders, very good with the free kicks, very technical player on his day, and I think they're definitely a team that's going to make the four. I don't have much written down for the 23s at the moment. Cooks Hill have unveiled their senior squad, which is 23s. It's combined 23s first grade, so I can't tell you who's in each grade, so there's not really much to say on the 23s just yet. I do know a lot of clubs are treating the 23s a bit differently this year. They're going to be playing the 17, 18, 19 year olds in that squad and trying to build them towards possible first grade appearance towards back end of the season maybe. And talking about first grade, last but not least, only a couple squads, well, Cooks Hill, the only squad unveiled at the moment. Computer battery's running out, that's probably not a good thing. Yeah, it's definitely something to watch. I think Cooks Hill's first grade team, they're very inexperienced, they're a young team. I think most of them are under the age of 24. It's make or break again. New coach, Blake Gleaney, inexperienced, you know, he's got Jared Gorsuch, the assistant coach, who was 23's coach at Toronto last year. They both come in good accord. They've come with good references, and the club's looking forward to working with him. Of course, I went to the general meeting and stuff, so I saw what went on behind the scenes, and there's real hope at Cooks Hill, and I think first grade is going to be make or break this year. I think they're going to make the top four. I don't think they're going to fail this time around. And just excuse me for a second. Alright, so I just had to pause the video there because my computer ran out of battery, so we're just using the secondary screen now with the graphics in the background. But yeah, we're talking about Cooks Hill's first grade team, and I may be getting a chance to go watch some training the next couple days or the next week or so. I'm involved with a lot at the Cooks Hill club, so it'd be good to meet the new players, and I think that it's a very inexperienced squad, as I said. Kaya Roth in goals, I think, is going to be key for them this year. They've got Matt Williams up front, the striker, who admittingly I don't know too much of, but I guess that's what the trial matches are for. It's going to be determining which squads are going to be the strongest, you know, what the potential is for each squad. Singleton signed 2 players yesterday, 2 overseas players, former English under 18 schoolboy and under 23s player from Houston. I'm not going to say the names just yet because I don't know if it's confirmed, but that was a rumour. So make it what you will of that. Singleton definitely one to watch this year. I think they're going to make the top 4, and you know I can probably say that about 6 or 7 squads. So it's going to be a very competitive year, I think. Khyber FC lost a couple players, but big rumour that they've got a former NPL Broadmeadow Magic player. I know who they've got there training with him, but I'm not going to say it here just yet. But you could very well see him debut next week against West Wallsend. Definitely probably play the FFA Cup next month, and definitely a player who can bring a lot to the table for Khyber FC. Very exciting signing for them. Lakes, again, they'll probably be big if they can keep Sam Walker at the club, which they probably will. Definitely going to be hard to beat this year. Fortin, they're a team that they haven't really unveiled just too much yet. Jamie Subet, I hope I'm saying that right, I'm going to have to get these pronunciations right, signing on from Western. Very exciting player, NPL quality sort of player, and will bring a lot to the Redbacks team. Whether they can go one further this year and push towards the top 4, I'm not sure just yet, but they're another team to watch. Bell Swans, the main news from Bell Swans is losing one of their best players in Shane Paul. Let's not cover that up. They've lost some quality there, but I think they've got a lot of quality players to make up for that. And whilst I'm not too sure on who their new additions are, I do know that they were given a grant a few weeks ago. I forget, maybe 50 grand from the local council down there to sort of work on Blacksmith's Oval, and that's big news for the club. You know, I think Bell Swans could do with a few more seats there, a bit of a ground upgrade, a bit of a facelift, and potentially look at maybe getting towards NPL level over the next 5 years or so. Who knows? Talking about field upgrades, there's rumours, I haven't seen that Cooks Hill's field, the athletics track, apparently some work's being done there with the ground. I don't know how good it is. I drove past last night and just some bit flooded. No surprise, most of the fields around here are flooded, but yeah, the car park's being tiled over. That's a start, and hopefully the field has been worked on, because no one's gonna disagree with me here. It was the worst field in the competition last year, and this is coming from someone who plays at Cooks Hill. Not on that field, probably on a worse field over at National Park, but that's a story for another day. Wallsend, you may have seen the photo yesterday, the day before it. Got a lot of views, a lot of comments, that photo. The garden's underwater, completely underwater. The clubhouse, the little bar area there they've got, underwater. It's really wasn't good to see, and in the off season it's probably not the worst news for Wallsend. It's probably not the worst timing, I should say, but for Newcastle Greyhounds, who are the tenants there, it's a lot of work, and Wallsend will no doubt probably help out with that. Well wishes to them, you know. Federal Park was also underwater, one of their training grounds, one of their junior grounds, so not good for Wallsend, but they'll bounce back. Toronto, new board, completely restructured board, new president, a renewed focus out there. There was a lot of stuff that went on behind the scenes that probably not many know about, that I'm not going to get into. I'm not in a position to get into, but it wasn't all fine and dandy, I guess you could say. There was problems at Toronto, and they're getting sorted out, and I think that, I don't know if they're going to make the top 4 this year. I think that's probably a bit far-fetched at this stage, but I definitely think they'll be improved, along with West Wallsend. Last but not least, we got some Newysports improvements, the man of the match system. I sent out an email to all the clubs, and a few still haven't got back to me, but it's still the off season, so it's no harm done there. But Singleton, they're going to be sending me their man of the match votes every week, and a few of the other clubs have messaged back and said what they're willing to do, and it's a real help. You know, it's really good to see the clubs chipping in and helping out what I do, and we're looking at maybe having some trophies handed out at the end of the year, some Player of the Year trophies, and a man of the match system I feel could be a real good way to show who the better players are across the divisions, across the grades, you know. Maybe make some players play a bit better and try and get that man of the match award. Team sheets will be probably emailed. You know, a few clubs have said that they'll help out with that. That's definitely going to be a help. We're going to try and get all the goal scorers, all the cards, all of that right here on Newysports.com. At this stage, it's probably the majority of what I've got. I'll bring another episode of Newysports TV previewing the Westie game next week against Cahaiba. For now, I'm Ty Stebbin. I'll talk to you later on. Thank you.